Hey everyone, Tim here. Just doing another video regarding the job action trailer we got yesterday during the live letter. Just breaking down each of the roles and just kind of giving out my thoughts and opinions on what I saw, what we heard, and just overall how I feel about each of the roles in general. So this video is going to be about the tanks. We're going to go through each of the tanks and we'll just go from there. I'm going to apologize in advance. This video is going to be kind of really roughly edited, and it's going to be, just me kind of talking over the video. So apologize. It's long night last night with a live letter in that regards, but I definitely want to get my thoughts just kind of out there in regards to how I felt about each of the roles. So with that being said, we'll go and just let the video play, and we'll start with the warrior. Now warrior tanks in general are just one that I don't play too much, but warrior is definitely the least one that I played out of the most. So good thing one things that I do like about the warrior is they are kind of looking into that inner release / berserk windows more. They did also remove the gauge taking up your charge or your dash ability, as well as your it was like a filler uppercut like thing that you just punch it. It would take like 20 a gauge or whatever. So they did remove that, which I did really like. So that was cool to see. Berserk is still about the same. I still feel like they need to do more in regards to trying to get warriors into this berserk window a little bit more often. I think they did say it was 6. It was gonna be, everything was gonna be moved to 60 seconds for that, or no, that was berserk. Or sorry, inner release. Maybe it's about the same. I'm not 100% sure on that. But if they can get into this phase a lot more, that's exactly what I'm looking for the warriors. And then the somersault ability that they do at the end, that is just fantastic. I love that ability so far. There is another ability, well, 2 abilities that we did see here as well. One is, looks like right after their normal 1, 2, 3, no, sorry, AoE rotation, they do another like AoE spell, which is kind of, or AoE ability. And then this one right here, I don't even know what this is. If someone could tell me in the comments below what they think that is, I don't even know what that is right now. To me, that maybe it's like another, like a shield ability, like a personal shield that's like not necessarily, was it a not is it nascent chaos or something? I don't really know what that is. So if you know what that is, let me know in the comments. I have no idea what that is. But overall, I think they played it pretty safe here. I'm kind of torn on that. I definitely want to see more of this, where they do that somersault ability. To me, that's fantastic. So I don't really have too much more to say on the warrior role in that regard. It is the tank I played the least. So let's move on to the next one, which is going to be the Dark Knight. Now the Dark Knight did get some new abilities. It didn't get a lot in what I would like to see. They did make it where their AoE, I can't think of what it is right now. I want to say Scorn, but it's not Scorn. Their AoE ability now triggers on the target or underneath them themselves. They don't have the ability to move that. Originally, I'm kind of torn on that. There are some implications where, placing it ahead of time, knowing where you're going to be, is kind of nice. But I think they did this for simplicity's sake. I think majority of people who drop AoEs that have AoE abilities, they macro them anyway. So I think this was their way of just saying, majority of people macro them. We're just going to go ahead and let it just be where it just drops on its own. And then they did say that when you do drop your AoE puddle, it does trigger a new ability or a new ability that you can use afterwards, which looks to be like this little ability right after their 1, 2, 3 combo. This little like bubbly like effect that happens. So it looks like, again, just an AoE, maybe just an AoE filler that you would just use. Then they also have this new shield here that does look like either a secondary TBN, like that's TBN, and then they have this other ability that they cast on. I don't know if like they get, like, if they cast TBN on themselves, they get a free TBN or whatever the new ability they're going to call it as their own. This also does look like a new ability to me they use right there, like a new shooting ability in that regards. And they did also mention that your Salacrum or your Living Dead ability, not Living Dead, sorry, your other ghostly pet there, I can't think of the name right now, will get to be able to use another ability that the Dark Knight does get between 80 and 90. So overall, I think they played this one kind of safe as well. I'm a little I wouldn't say disappointed. This one is the 1, 2, 3 tank in my opinion, and they didn't really do too much with between Shadowbringers and now. And I feel like they could have done a little bit more. I think they just needed to give the tanks a little bit more things to work with. Now, I do have to kind of preface that in the live letter, they did mention that tanks using defensive cooldowns at certain points that were beneficial would get a beneficial effect. I don't know what that actually means, but maybe they're trying to focus on, hey, we want to reward you for playing defensively correctly. And that's why they didn't really do too much with all the tanks in general, all the tanks' abilities. They want them to be rewarded for tanking and using their defensive cooldowns correctly. So maybe that was the direction. This one they played it, I think, a little safe then in that case, just kind of just adding a couple new abilities, just making some quality of life changes and kind of going from there. So let's move on to the next one. I don't have too much more to say on that. We'll switch over to the Gunbreaker. Now, the Gunbreaker is one I definitely have the most experience on tanking. So, looking at what they did here, they kept a lot of it the same. And they added some quality of life more or less to the job. They did add a third cartridge on the side there that you can see. That will be used later with an ability. But the big thing they did here was the continuation combo, specifically the Gnashing Fang, Wicked Talon, and the other one that I can't think of right off the top of my head. Instead of having it be like each individual button, they've now changed it where when you use Gnashing Fang, it switches to Wicked Talon, and then Wicked Talon switches to the third one. So it just kind of frees up some button bloat, which is definitely nice for the job. It makes things a little bit easier. So now instead of just going like 4, 5, 6, and then in between that you're using continuation, I'm just gonna use 4 continuation, 4 continuation, 4 continuation, and then 4 continuation is a example. It does look like here they did get a upgraded. What was that? That's not Brutal Shell. That's their individual Heart of Light, I think is what it is. No, Heart of Stone. Sorry, Heart of Stone. Looks like Heart of Stone animation did get a little bit of a visual update. Maybe it's empowered. Hard to really say there. Then they do their AoE here, which then allows them to get, their 3 there. Then they use their normal Burst Strike, which then follows up with, looks like an OGCD follow-up to that they can use. So that's interesting to see. Makes it a little bit flow, but better for single target. And then you got this new one that does consume 2 charges to do this like X-like attack, which looks really cool. So overall, I think they did a pretty good job with the Gunbreaker, still kind of keeping to that fast-paced combo, and fast-paced gameplay that they have kept with Shadowbringers. They kept that the same, which is what I liked it. It kind of still feels like a DPS, or it looks like it would feel like a DPS still. So I do really like that as well. And they added a couple other things, and then just, like I said, some quality of life. So I do really like the changes that they made with the Gunbreaker, just kind of keeping things pretty simple and what they've already enjoyed doing currently. Alright, last job on the tank list is going to be the Paladin, the poster boy for the expansion. So looking at how the Paladin is, I enjoyed some of it, and some of it I'm just kind of like meh, So their 1, 2, 3 combo is still pretty much the same. So they got their normal 1, 2, 3 here, but this looks like a new updated the OGCD ability that they do get, and I'm just drawing a blank on what it's called right now. And then they do have this new single shield ability that does kind of seem like it's an individual TBN for the Paladin that they haven't had before. So that's kind of nice to have. I think Paladins definitely have the least amount of protection out of all the tanks, like themselves, for like, let's say, main tank in that regards. Then this is what they have afterwards. After they use Confiteor, they have a new Confiteor combo, which is definitely very visually flashy. But this, to me, really kind of concerns me that Paladins already have a button bloat issue problem, in my opinion. And now they're adding a new combo, or a new combination after using Confiteor. Now, could they maybe make it where Confiteor and all these share the same button? Absolutely, and I really hope that they do that, because I just can't see this job having any more buttons to push. And I don't really know if they were going to be removing some of the other buttons or changing some of the things to make things not as bloated for them. So it'll be interesting to see. But overall, I think aesthetically, the Paladin does look a lot better. We'll have to just wait and see for the Meteor stuff, how much button bloat is shown for this one. But overall, I like the new animations that they got for that. I do think that giving them a new rotation to kind of go through with their configure thing instead of just going back to 1, 2, 3 is definitely nice to have. And I think they kept a lot of the job the same. So overall, I have nothing else really more to add for the Paladin. I think they just got a new rotation and everything looks pretty good. So that being said, that's pretty much all I have to say in regards to the tank. So if you like this video, let me know. Make sure you leave a like and comment if you have anything that you wanted to see, or what did you like, what did you didn't like about the tanks. Let me know if there was anything you wish that there would be added or not. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you want to check out my other videos, you can check out my channel. Like I said, we've already done the casters, the healers, and the physical range DPS. Tanks are done now. I got one more to do, which is the melee DPS, so that video will be coming down the line shortly. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and head off for now, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Take care.